So, for example,
Yeah.
I did an interview with Deion Dawkins from the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
And he went in on the Jets. He went in on Sauce Gardner and so forth. So Sauce kind of like talked some shit back on Twitter. He's like, oh, you on Vlad TV with your shirt off or whatever else. and I remember Sauce went on, I think, The Pivot. And he was talking about the interview. And he was like, yeah, man, you talking to Vlad. And Vlad's never been a professional athlete. You know, what does he know about sports? And it's like, what do I know about rappers? What do I know about gangsters? What do I know about all the professional athletes that I've interviewed?
Yeah.
Enough to do the interview.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like to say what does Oprah know about the people she interviews? Well, what does 60 Minutes know about every person that they interview? It's called research.
Yeah.
It's called being good at your craft.
Right.
Sauce Gardner's tripping right now. But people try to say that, well, you've never been an athlete, so you can't talk about sports. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And coming from sports doesn't mean that you know how to talk about sports.
Right. You know what they doing? Because they're punks. This is the punk moment. So I always talk about the act, not the actor. Stephen A. Smith is not a punk, but that move was a punk move. And I have done punk moves myself. When you don't want to say what it really is, you're a punk. So when you do a punk move, it's going to come out whack. It's going to come out like a punk because somebody smart can be like, wait a minute, say what you really mean. It ain't the fact that he's not an athlete or journalist. It's the fact that you don't like his ass.
Yeah, that's it. You don't like him.
I don't like you, bruh. And if you would have said that, you don't get no interview from me. You don't get no clap back from Marcellus. I'm like, Max, he ain't fuck with you.
Yeah,
but when you try to diminish his credibility, his credentials, when you start making up stuff just because people don't typically know or follow through, so you could go on Joe Budden's music, rap, entertainment-focused podcast and talk about this sports guy, and somebody who don't know just like, oh, yeah, the dude wasn't an athlete or journalist. Well, Stephen A., there's levels to this.
Yeah.
You weren't an athlete the way I consider an athlete.
No,
I start at pro level.
Not at all.
I start at pro. Even if you were a scrub, got cut the first day, you different than the dude who was the shit in college and never made it. Okay? I got level. I can go all the way down to high school. Pop Warner. Some of the best players I ever met never made it pro. So it's levels. Yeah. But please keep it 1,000. And stop acting like you didn't like that dude. Just say, fuck him.
Well, look, I have met Stephen A. before. I remember coming out of a Jordan party. I've talked about this before. We were both in line waiting for the bus to take us back to the parking lot, and he was literally standing right behind me.
I heard this story.
You heard the story, yeah.
Give it to me.
And I turn around and Stephen A. Smith. I'm like, oh, Stephen A. Smith, what's good? I'm Vlad from Vlad TV. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, we cover you a lot, on my news site. And he said, yeah, everybody does.
I know, I heard it.
And I was like,
you're like, I don't.
Really? I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, what kind of statement is that? He's like, oh, well, you kind of tried to sort of talk his way out of it. I'm with my security, and I'm just like,
yeah.
That was just uncalled for.
Yeah.
Because yes, I'm sure a lot of people do cover you, but not every person has millions of viewers every day like Vlad TV does. So I'm like, whatever. And I remember a few months ago.
Y'all pissing at each other now. Pull it out. Me, I got you. I'm a little with Stephen A. on that one in the respect. I had a lot of teammates, some of them assholes. And you don't always have to land neatly in public. And I used to think that way because that's how I am. You know me. Every time I see anybody, love.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't like that.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have to be obligated to be like that. But it comes with its consequences. People going to be looking at you like your ass is stuck up.
And someone with millions of viewers is going to be talking about you. And what's interesting is a few months ago, I get contacted by someone at his show, and they're like, oh, Stephen A. Smith wants to use your John Sally clip about how the NBA isn't into older players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He wants to use it for his show. And I'm like, oh, his TV show. They're like, nah, his YouTube show. And I'm like, all right, well, if it was a TV show, I'd be like, whatever. That's fine, because that's a whole different audience. But Stephen doesn't really have a big following on YouTube. Not like my following.
Oh, so look at your that flex. Well, I ain't shit to you then, Vlad.
Not like my following.
How many millions you got, Vlad?
Almost 6 million.
6?
Yeah, almost 6 million.
6 million Dougie Fresh, y'all?
Yeah, exactly. Shit. Exactly. Well, so my thing was this. I said, all right, I'll tell you what.
Damn.
I will give you guys permission to use this clip, have Stephen call me, so we just establish a relationship.
Yeah, right. You sunning him. You get back to that parking lot. You ain't slick.
No. I wasn't. I mean, to me, it's whatever. No. Listen, if you really know me,
I do know you.
For me, it's the business.
I know that.
We could have a bad little interaction, and if there's some business on the table, whatever. We could even talk about the interaction in our interview at some point.
That action in that parking lot made what you want from Stephen A. going forward until you guys are cool transactional, correct?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So you like, now that's why it's important to network and have human capital, social capital.
Exactly.
If you an asshole, you're going to have to deal with.
Right. You want to use my shit? Okay, we're going to have a conversation about it first.
That part.
And they're like, well, he's just really busy. And I'm like, well, I'm just too busy. I'm too busy to clear it. That's how it ended. That's
where we started.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to play nice with me. I'm not going to play nice with you.
You want to play that game?
And we all lose.
You want to play that game?
You don't get free content.
That game will play you.
And I don't have a business connection, because at the end of the day, me and Steven, what we do overlaps. We interview some of the same people.
That's true.
We have big followings.
Yep.
We talk to celebrities for a living.
Yep.
We all have our fan bases. Whatever else.
We could have been cool.
We could have been cool, and we could work together. I'm not saying, well, you have to do my show. No, you don't have to do my show, but let's just have an interaction, because sometimes, I have good business relationships with a ton of people, like you, like Gilbert Arenas. He's got his own. He's coming up in the big game now. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Academics, he's always on my show. Adam 22, Charlemagne, we always talk. I would do the Breakfast Club. He'd do Vlad TV. Mm-hmm. It works out better if we're all working together, not beefing with each other, talking about, everyone covers me. No, that's dumb. That's a dumb way of looking at it. We all are trying to get eyeballs and all trying to work together. But my thing was like, okay, you want to use my shit for free? Because you're not offering me any money for it. Right. Now, if you're offering money for it, then you don't have to call me.
Exactly. He know it.
So you want to do it for free? Give me a call. No, he's really busy. He's traveling. I'm like, okay, well, I'm too busy to clear it. When he gets less busy, I'll become less busy.
Good for you.
And nothing happened.
And that's why I like that I'm always accessible to people, no matter who they are, what status, not even to pay it forward. Just pay it in the moment. Like, I'm appreciative. My attitude is gratitude. So I ain't going to be no asshole to nobody. But what gives it the cherry on top is a lot of times it pays itself forward. The bank in the sky. Next thing you know, that dude that you just was nice to, it happens to me all the time. Oh, you took that picture with my son. Yeah, I'm the CFO of Uncle Nearest.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. And that just happened to me. I literally talking to a kid who wants to go to Columbia. Literally, your dad's the CFO. That's how the game go. But if not, you choose your lane.
Exactly. Listen, when people walk up to me and ask for pictures or want to talk to me, I'm always extremely nice.
Yeah, you got to be, man.
If people recognize me, like the waiters or whatever, recognize me at a restaurant, I'll always overtip them. Like, because my thing is like,
that part.
I'm lucky to be in this position.
Same.
I'm lucky that I have fans.
Same.
I'm lucky that people spend time out of their day. Time is the most important thing a person can own.
Bingo.
And the fact that they're devoting some of their time to something I'm producing and showing appreciation for it on top of that, man, listen, whatever you want. Pictures with anyone. I remember I was in Atlanta and I walked into they were having like a wedding there. Like, oh my God, DJ Vlad's got literally a line of people waiting to take pictures of me. But I'm like, it's all good, man. I'm happy to be in this position.
Some people lose
I would
sight of
never be rude and brush people off, because now you have an enemy.
Mm-hmm. Some people lose sight of that. And they become asshole. Look, I had a lot of teammates that were like that. Asshole. Nice to me, nice to my family, asshole to all the other fans that they don't know and connected with. Fuck that. And I'll be like, dog, why? Like, you know how close, no matter who you are to not being in this position, right? It's that fickle. So I always say the road to success and failure look almost exactly the same. You know how many cats ran heels with me, did push-ups with me, workouts with me, and they asked and get a sniff in the league. We did the same stuff. I just blessed. I got different talents and skills, and it worked out. I'm not even the best football player from my neighborhood. He didn't make it. Stace Bozeman is the best football player I have ever seen on any level. Now, that was high school. He chose to go basketball. He goes to SC. He plays pro for a second in basketball. The whole Charlie Ward world where you chose basketball, obviously, over football. If he would have chose football, he was Mike Vick, fucking Randall Cunningham, Patrick Mahomes all in one in high school. Number one player in the country.
He was a quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback.
Okay.
Way back. But point being, I use that to make sure I stay humble. Because the last thing I want to do is have somebody tell a story about everybody does. Like, you know what I mean? When I'm in fucking line. And so let me get this out because I don't know if you got a follow-up or not. I don't know. I don't trust you, Vlad. I don't dislike Stephen A. because I talk about the act.
I don't dislike Stephen A.
The act of coming at Max and using that power over him in terms of manipulating the narrative. Not getting him off your show. If your show, sorry, I don't want to fuck with you. I did that one time. There was a co-host, and I was like, I don't want to work with him. And I told him, and he was like, all right. And he's still kind of my boy, but it hurt. But I was like, nah, dog, I'm not going to do well with you. Mm-hmm. Say that. But I'm not going to go around and say, oh, you know, this guy ain't even an athlete and not a journalist, and he ain't even good enough, and the ratings got better. And the ratings were good. They would have been better with him, and they were still good. They would have been better with him if y'all were pulling in the same direction. I saw times when Max would say something funny, and he stale face him. I was like, that ain't no, everybody saw it. I ain't making shit
You said
up.
it was sabotage.
Oh, absolutely. Capital S. Sabotage. Yeah. But he didn't even have to do that. He could have just simply said, or maybe he could, I don't want to work with him. And this is why. I don't want to work with him. And I think he didn't maybe have that power, and then he got that power later. But the whole post-game tour of killing who you didn't want to work with, I've never seen that done in our game like that, and that's why I jumped in.